Obviously very disappointed. First home loss. We played really well here at Shar, and we obviously didn't come out with the kind of discipline that we needed to be successful against an undefeated team in our league. Experienced veteran team, give a lot of credit to them. Drexel for the way they played, Coach Spiker for the way their guys were prepared. And we played better in the second half. We had some moments, but we just didn't play with the discipline, and we didn't execute the way that we needed to be successful tonight.
For Rob, Rob, what were the discipline breakdowns that coach was referring to? Where did you see
I just felt as a team, the first 10 minutes of the game, we were happy with making shots, but we were trading with them. They were making shots, we were making shots. We kept trading with them. And once we stopped missing threes or whatever, they just kept coming. That's an old, experienced group, and it showed out there playing. They kept running their stuff. They ran all their plays to the end of the shot clock, moving the ball all around the court. I think we settled because we got comfortable with hitting shots early. And I don't think we moved the ball as much as we should have. We got comfortable with that. So that's what I thought.
LA, I felt like Drexel does a good job of making their opponents uncomfortable on both sides of the floor. What was it defensively for Drexel? What is it that kind of creates, as Rob said, those opportunities to kind of settle for jumpers? What does Drexel do that makes you settle in those situations?
Honestly, that's a physical group, but honestly, I really think it came back to us tonight. I don't think we came really ready to play in terms of sharing the ball. We got it popping. We not getting it popping. Obviously we got some guys who was a lot of skill, but we just kept holding it and kept holding it for a long period of time, and I obviously wasn't working it, not trusting our teammates enough as we should have.
LA, was there something that you guys didn't seem to have the energy maybe that sometimes you do here when you play? Did you sense that, or was it?
I think we kind of just honestly got stuck on one thing. Obviously, it worked out the gate, but then we kind of just settled into like you said, not selfish basketball, but selfish in a way in terms of moving the ball and making the defense work. They were able to just kind of guard and sit in the stance because one person was having the ball, so we really weren't moving, getting any action, getting each other involved.
Rob, there were a couple offensive fouls early in the game. It was just dribble handoff action where y'all got called for offensive fouls. What is it about the way Drexel covers those that leads to?
We went over that all day yesterday. It was emphasis today, but there was just that's just bonehead mistakes on our part. We knew exactly what was coming, and it's just not playing with the urgency and focused. Just as we looked tonight, we weren't focused as a group. We didn't come out with the energy that we needed to. Just little things like that. You're not going to win games in this league making bonehead mistakes like that. And we went over that countless times, and we had two happen early. It's just not good.
It's been a tough couple of games for y'all over the last 3 nights. Where do y'all feel like you're headed from here? LA, what do you feel is the most important thing that y'all need to improve upon sooner rather than later?
I think it's definitely a reality check. I think us being at home, we kind of just felt like we gonna get a W just because we haven't lost here. But in terms of that, I think it really shows us our toughness and that if we want to win, that we need to show up every night and battle and compete for 40 minutes straight, which we haven't done. So I think the biggest thing is competing for 40 minutes.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us was just the things that we emphasize, tagging up, going to the rim, getting rebounds, playing hard. We've showed spurts of it, and that's when we have played good, and we've escaped a couple games because we did it for 30 minutes or 32 minutes. If we could focus on what we emphasize for 40 minutes as a group, I think that would really help us as a team. I think that's really where we need to get to right now. I think that's what we need to figure out as a unit.
Do you think, Rob, it helps? Maybe you've learned a lot playing against two of the teams that look like they may be two of the
those two of the top teams in the league. Like I just said on the 40 minutes, when we played Charleston for 40 minutes, they were on the glass. 40 minutes, they're moving the ball. 40 minutes, they're everything they emphasize, they're doing for 40 minutes. Same thing with Drexel. So I feel like if we could take that as a team and just look at ourselves in the mirror and say, if we could do this for 40 minutes, we'll have a better chance of winning games and moving forward.
What do y'all think would be the trademark that other teams would take from 40 minutes against Elon if y'all did get to that point where you're playing 40 minutes of trademark basketball?
LA, you want to do
Can you say it again? All right.
What do you feel like would be Elon's trademark? If you get to a point where you're playing 40 minutes of trademark Elon basketball, what do you think other teams would say that's what Elon does?
I mean, our coaches drill our principles in us every day. I mean, defend, rebound, and run. So that's with us getting up the floor 4 seconds to left, choking on outlet passes, being up. I mean, just defending, rebounding, clashing the glass, all 5 to the glass. And like he said, like we haven't completed on our principles for 40 minutes straight. Like we've shown a lot of spurts, and obviously, I mean, it got us some wins at some point. But like you said, like for the best teams in our league, if we want to be one of the best teams in our league, then we got to do our principles for 40 minutes.
Rob, I just wanted to quickly ask about Amari Williams. He's just a really unique player. You're new to the CAA. You haven't had an opportunity to see him yet. What did you feel like? What do you feel like he brings to the table for that Drexel team, and how did y'all game plan for it today?
Yeah, I mean, we were trying to get him away from the rim, obviously, because when he's sitting down there, he's just a monster. You know, it's kind of tough when you're coming off ball screens. He's playing drop coverage. He kind of covers the whole rim. The guy's huge. I mean, he's a monster. So we were trying to bring him out a little farther from the rim, you know, but that kid's a monster. He can block everything. I mean, I remember the first half I was going up for a layup and I just saw him coming, so I tried to give it to one of our big men quickly, but he's a monster down there, and he kind of sets up their whole defense, because when he's down there patrolling and protecting the whole rim, everyone could sit in the gap, so it's really tough to play against them. They make it physical and hard, and he's a good player.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate
you all. Coach Stanley?
How did it kind of get away from you? It seemed like 24-20, things were okay, and then
Yeah, sometimes you can be deceived by, because we were scoring, but we weren't guarding, we weren't connected defensively. So that wasn't setting a good standard for us in terms of what was going to lead us ultimately to success. The pace was good early, but we just were giving up too many easy shots, too many defensive mistakes that we made, kind of game plan mistakes, which the guys were talking about. And so again, the score looked good, but we, as a coaching staff, knew we were not playing well, and we were setting ourselves up for failure. And then all of a sudden, we're down 15, 20 points, and now you got to climb back into it.
Feels like now would be a time where you may feel a little bit dejected after the couple games you've had. How do you, create a sense of positivity going into another couple of big games against good teams next weekend?
Yeah, I mean, look, the reality is we played the two teams that are undefeated in the league. They're the top two teams in the league, one on the road, one at home. We learned a lot, with kind of a young team, kind of their first experience playing the top competition in our conference. So I think we learned a lot this week, and our guys are positive. We're positive as coaches. We're going to keep teaching and learning, and as I think Rob alluded to, our guys will look at themselves and figure out, okay, what do I individually need to do better, and we'll be ready to get to work on Monday. We'll be consistent. You guys know for last year, we'll be consistent. We'll keep working, and we'll figure out a way to be successful.
You talk about how you hope that some of the guys will do a little bit of self-reflection, or Rob talked about doing a little bit of self-reflection. Obviously, as a coach, you can kind of impart lessons on them, but what do you hope that they see when they do a little bit of reflecting on themselves? Yeah,
again, a lot of it comes down to the mistakes that we're making. Again, like I keep referring to, the discipline mistakes, where it's like, okay, you know what, we can be better here. Like the things that you can control. You can't control whether you're going to make a shot. You don't control that. You don't control, the way the whistle blows, all that. But some of the mistakes that we made, lack of execution offensively, lack of defensive execution, that's more so what they'll reflect upon and figure out, okay, I need to be better. Because we'll watch it on film and they'll see it and they'll understand it. But then it's about, making the adjustments and saying, okay, now I'm going to execute what I'm being taught.
There's no secret that home court usually means something in college basketball. So is that this week even maybe more important for you, just to try to?
Oh yeah, I mean at this point, every win in conference play is a must win, right? So we felt like this week we had two great opportunities and we didn't take advantage of it. So now we've got to just defend our home court again. We've been great at the Shar so far. I do think there was a little bit of we beat Drexel last year, and kind of a little bit of cockiness with, okay, like LA mentioned, like, oh, we'll be okay. We're at home, we'll be okay. And that just got us into a bad place. So I think we'll learn a lot from it. I think we got humbled, which sometimes is a good thing. You really can learn and grow from it. And we'll certainly be ready to go on Thursday night.
Is Nick Dorn, what's his status?
Yeah, he turned his ankle in practice. So obviously not having him this week was huge. taking a guy that was playing exceptionally well, out of the lineup, his 10 points a game, his rebounding was really playing at a high level for us. So that hurt us, but it always gives other guys an opportunity to step up and to make some plays and kind of get some playing time there. But hopefully we'll get Nick back and he should be ready by Thursday.
2 big home games coming up, UNCW, Northeastern. What's the mindset going into those games?
Yeah, I think it's, again, we always focus on just one game at a time. So the first opponent, UNCW, beat us twice last year. Again, one of the preseason favorites, and Trezarian White is one of the top players in our league. So, it's a team that went on the road and won at Rupp. Okay? So we know that they're a very, very good basketball team. Just like Drexel, beat Villanova. They are a very, very good basketball team. So we'll have to really be dialed in and we'll have to execute and be able to do it for 40 minutes.
Any other questions?
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.